Hi there, welcome to Prime Sports with me, Razak Musbout. Now, the Black Stars head coach Nsoatre has now named a very strong 23-man squad for next week's 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Chad and Madagascar. The team, which is currently led by captain Jordan Ayew, includes 3 home-based players: Benjamin Asari of Accra Hearts of Oak, Kamaradini Mamudu of Midiama, and Razak Simpson of Nations FC. Now, significantly, Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey returns to the squad after some 6-month hiatus, in which period Ghana played 4 African Cup of Nations qualifiers. His absence was largely due to injuries. Now, the team also sees the feature of sensational 20-year-old left winger Christopher Bonsu, who's currently based in Belgium, joining the squad to help with the team's attacking prowess there. Now, on your screen, you see the full list of players, and just going through from the goalkeeping department, Lawrence Antizigi is, a regular in the squad. He's there. Joseph Wallacott is also there. He's not been featuring lately. Lately he's not been getting to feature, only been used for training. Benjamin Asari, the Hearts of Oak goalkeeper, he's been instrumental in the Ghana Premier League for Hearts of Oak this season. He's kept some 12 clean sheets in 18 appearances for the Phobian side. At the moment, Accra Hearts of Oak are 3rd in the Ghana Premier League, just 1 point behind league leaders Accra Hearts of Oak. And Benjamin Asari has been the one person who has helped Accra Hearts of Oak in that regard. He's currently the captain of Accra Hearts of Oak also. Now, in terms of defense, you have Gideon Mensah, the left back, who plies his trade with AJ Oxer in the French League, are also making the cut. You have Ebenezer Annan also there. You also have Mohamed Salisu, at Monaco, where he's been impressive this season, even managed a few goals for Monaco this season. He's also in there. You've also got Jerome Opoku there. You've got Alexander Djiku, features for Fenerbahce yesterday. He was in action for Fenerbahce in their Europa League game against Rangers. He did play in that game, which Fenerbahce ended up losing on penalties. He did kick a penalty for Fenerbahce, Jose Marino's side, but they ended up losing to Rangers. You also got Jonas Ajete, you've got Razak Simpson, Kingsley Schindler, and of course Kamaradini Mamudu of Midiama. Now, when you go to midfield, that's where it gets really interesting, because Thomas Partey returns to the side. He's been out of the Black Star squad for a while now, and he returns to the side. And after a pretty good time with Arsenal, after he recovered from injury, he's been on a very good run with Arsenal so far. Of course, he used to be the Black Stars captain, but he's now relinquished the Black Stars captain, and Jordan Ayew will be taking over, and he will be playing under the leadership of Jordan Ayew now. Elisha Osu is also in there from Auxerre. Abu Francis also gets to be part of the squad. Mohamed Kudus, he's been quiet with West Ham lately. The last game, recent 2 games where he's shown a bit, but he's been quiet this season. Haven't had so many goals. He haven't registered even 10 goals plus assists yet. Still lingering under 5 goals this season for West Ham. We've had Graham Potter, his new coach, urging him to improve, and hopefully this international window will be an opportunity for him to get the goals. Then you also got Ernest Nuama, one very sensational youngster who is shining with Lyon in the French Ligue 1. Yesterday, he scored for Lyon in the, Europa League there. He scored 2 goals in that game, and he's been doing really well in recent time, and hopefully he can come and replicate that in our World Cup qualifying games. Antoine Semenyo with Bournemouth is there in terms of the forwards. You also got Kamaldeen Suleiman, who is another player who's been out of the Black Stars for a while now due to injury. He returns to the side, currently plying his trade with Southampton. And Jordan Ayew, recent time, has not been getting enough playing time with Leicester City. He's been on the bench quite a few times in at least the last 5 games for Leicester City, coming from the bench to contribute. But he will be leading the team in these 2 crucial games. Jerry Efriye used to play for Thoughts FC in Ghana's Division 2, has now moved to Spain 3rd Division, CD Lugo. In their last game, he scored 2 goals. And remember, he scored his first goal for the Black Stars in the last AFCON qualifying in November against Niger, where the Black Stars won that game. So he scored a goal in that game. Scored a goal alongside Mohamed Kudus when he scored a penalty there. Then he also got Inaki Williams with Athletic Club, and Christopher Bonsu Ba, the journeying forward, the 20-year-old left-footed player who is also looking to come and help the squad. Now, these two games against Chad and Madagascar are important because the Black Stars at the moment are in Group I. They find themselves in second place. They are level on point with Comoros, 9 points apiece. And the two games against Chad, they need to secure all 6 points to stand to boost their chances of qualifying for the World Cup. The first game will be against Chad on Friday at the Krasport Stadium, coming Friday at the Krasport Stadium. Then they will travel to Morocco where they'll play Madagascar on Tuesday, the 24th, where they'll play Madagascar. And if they're able to secure all 4 points, then it means they stand a chance of 6 points in those two games. Then they are boosting their chances of qualifying for the World Cup. So important because only one team is going to qualify to the World Cup from that group. Now, Otoado recently went to visit Garmanche, where he was urging the king to urge the entire people, the people in Accra, to turn up and support the team in the game on Friday. We'll get to that sound very shortly, and we'll hear from Coach Otoado. But the team is expected to assemble on Monday. They will begin to arrive on Monday. Training will start on Monday evening through to Tuesday, and preparation will intensify on Wednesday through to Thursday, and eventually on Friday at the Krasport Stadium, they'll host Chad in that crucial World Cup qualifying game. So great, and we'll get that sound, that Otoado sound for you very shortly. But as you can see, this is the squad that the Black Stars will be going into that game against Chad and Madagascar. Important qualifier. Now let's hear from Coach Otoado when he visited Garmanche ahead of the game on Friday.
For your support, for your guidance. We're having difficult matches, difficult tasks ahead of us. I think the Ghana nation, the Ghanaian nations needs urgently a victory or victories to go to the World Cup. And for that, I think we need the support of all Ghanaians, especially also the GA people and the GA chief to support us in our task so that the whole of Ghana can be happy and everybody will be joining us if we go to the World Cup.
Yeah.
That's Coach Otoado. He's expected to address the press before that game on Friday, hopefully on Thursday before the game on Friday. And then we'll get to hear from him what his plans really are. Remember, there's been a shake-up in the Black Stars technical team. There's now a psychologist with the team. There's a technical director that has also been added to the team with the hope of improving the Black Stars' performance because they're yet to win a game in a while, particularly they're coming back from their failure to make it to the AFCON. They definitely will be looking to make it to the World Cup. But let's turn attention to the Ghana Premier League because Nsoatreman have confirmed the withdrawal from the ongoing Ghana Premier League due to concerns over the security and safety of their players. It is understood that aggrieved supporters intend to retaliate after Kotoko fan Francis Frimpong-Pole was stabbed to death during the Porcupines clash with Nsoatreman on February 2. This follows a recent alleged attack by unknown persons in Kukwom in the Ahafo region on Monday when Nsoatreman traveled to face Samatex Abibiani Dance Park. The Nsoatre-based side say they are forced to take this decision to ensure the safety of the players. We understand the club has since instructed the players to move to their various homes as they work on some compensation for them. Joining me on phone now is the Public Relations Officer of the club, Joel Kofi Jempe, for more on this very developing story. Joel, thank you very much for making time. Can you confirm to us that you have indeed withdrawn from the Ghana Premier League? And does that mean that the club in Nsoatreman will no longer exist?
Well, good evening to my brother and good evening. Yes, let me confirm that it's true that my football club this afternoon broadcast a release informing the general public that we have withdrawn from the Ghana Premier League and have equally sent a copy to mother association, being the Ghana Football Association. And as to whether the club will still exist, I think the first step is to withdraw from all football activities, then whatever decisions to be taken next will be communicated later. So for now, that's the first step we're taking, and that is withdrawing Ghana League and all parties. So we'll look out the next decisions to be taken later.
Well, we understand this decision follows some attack on your players and officials of the team after your game against the Nsoatre in BBN. Can you, give us a little more details of what really happened after the game? What exactly happened? Because we understand if the police have arrested a suspect in connection with that incident. What happened to your team after the game against Nsoatre in BBN?
Well, if you're asking after the game, I think personally I wasn't with the team, but I was assigned in Center. So the report I had was on their way to BBN, who chased after them, please intervene.
Joe, please, your line is a bit unstable. If you can just position yourself well for us so we can hear you clearly. We're hearing you very well.
I don't know if you can hear me now.
Yes, much better. Thank you.
Good. So, as I was saying, I said I wasn't actually part of the traveling team to BBN. That was last weekend. But then the report I had was on the way to BBN. The team had a certain guy who chased after the team back. So the police intervened. But then our later report had it that he wasn't coming to attack the team. But I think that chase will cause some panic in our guys and even the entire team. So after the game, there were some reports gathered that there were some section of people who were also on the road waiting for Nsoatreman Quits to attack them. So the team but had to take a different route to get to Nsoatre.
Interesting. But, I mean, we know that there were concerns, even before the league resumed, about the safety of your team at Terra. Did you make any arrangement, or did the Ghana police make any effort to offer you some enhanced security because of the peculiar situation you find yourself? Is it the case that you didn't have any special security detail, for this game and even subsequent games? Was that the situation?
Well, we had. On our way to BBN, we were sandwiched between two police cars. And I think, I don't know, it all seems it's not enough. And we are also calling for maybe enough security. We are only sensing that, there's so much anger in a lot of people regarding the death of our border police. Though we had a police investigation, told us that they have a suspect, but then unfortunately the suspect is on the run and they are looking if they are on a man's hand for him. So we thought maybe that would have brought peace amongst the things aside all these issues that is speculating. People are still having issues with Nsoatreman Football Club. So we decided that, look, it's not about providing security for the team, but then to also ensure that the anger that is actually boiling in people will calm down. And we need a mediator who will actually solve this issue. So although we are talking about not being able to provide security for our players, but that doesn't mean that we are calling for security. But we're also calling for mediation between ourselves and, I should say, Kotoko and the supporters of Kotoko.
Interesting. Now, what happens to your players after this decision? What's the arrangement for them? Are you planning some compensation? Because there's no way any of them are going to get a club, to play for till the end of the season. They're going to be literally jobless till the end of the season, which is about maybe 4 to 5 months from now.
Yeah, sure. I think we are worried about it, but then the security of these players are also on the line, and we need to protect them. So, in as much as thinking about the career, we also think about security. So, we communicated with the management club. The management is also equally the players. We were supposed to have a training staff. So instead of the training, then that was the team the team comes to the result.
Well, just what we just really struggling to hear you about. Joe, thank you very much. I'm sure we'll get to talk to you in our subsequent bulletins over there. But let's turn attention to some European football now, because it's a big game coming up this weekend. We've got Chelsea playing Manchester United this weekend. Two clubs, Chelsea chasing top 4, and United also hoping to play in Europe come next season. Liverpool look like they've run away with the league, but Chelsea playing Arsenal, I beg your pardon, Chelsea playing Arsenal, who are currently in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and Chelsea also in the quarterfinals of the Conference League. Two sides playing in Europe, albeit different stages in Europe. Well, my good friend has joined me now, what do you call it, via Zoom to just preview. Sika Yao has joined me. Sika, Charlie, good to have you, good to have you, good to have you. You know, good to have you. We've got about some few minutes to wrap it up. A big game coming up. Arsenal, Chelsea, two sides going into this game after a decent performance in Europe. You know, how is it going to turn up? London derby. I'm a Chelsea fan, so just forgive my bias.
Yeah, it's going to be a cracking game. I think a lot of fans in the country are going to look forward to this. Arsenal, of course, may probably feel like the title race might be over, but there's still a lot to play for. They still obviously want to qualify and make sure they do play in the Champions League next season. So winning against Chelsea may just provide that. However, Chelsea have some targets of their own. And of course, in the London derby, Chelsea would always want to beat Arsenal. It's not going to be an easy game, as it's going to be at the Emirates Stadium. So Chelsea are going to be on a bit of uncommon ground. So the fans are definitely going to be behind Arsenal, and the Chelsea fans will be a bit in minority, but I do expect this to be a very entertaining game. But something tells me this could end up in a draw.
Interesting. What about the chances of Chelsea playing top 4 this season? You know, Man City is there. It's likely the Premier League might even get, 5 slots in the Champions League. Some are even contemplating 6 slots. What are the chances of Chelsea even being in top 4 by the end of the season? Do you fancy them?
Well, it's definitely going to be an exciting race for top 4. I think Chelsea have Newcastle just behind them, Man City just behind them. You've got Newcastle in there as well. There's only a few points separating top 4. So a win against Arsenal for Chelsea could be very, very vital in their quest for Champions League football. So I can see Chelsea making it. They have a favourable run of fixtures coming up in the Premier League, and it starts with Arsenal, of course, this Sunday.
Interesting. What about Man United? It's been a very challenging season for them. What could be their hope? Winning the Europa League, maybe?
I think at this point, this is their only hope, especially if they want to have European football next year, which is highly unlikely. With the league finish, of course, they're in the bottom half of the table. So winning the Europa League is a priority, you could say, for Manchester United. They are looking very good in the Europa League after their win yesterday in the Europa League against Sociedad. Very, very good win. 4 goals at home in front of the home crowd. The stadium was absolutely rocking. I was there at the game. So the Europa League could be a factor, and it could be a priority for Man United. That's, for me, the only hope to finish the season strong if they can win a trophy.
We know Liverpool is out of the Champions League. They are playing the Carabao Cup final, I think, this weekend. I'm sure, no, next weekend. They've got a Carabao Cup final. But the big, this weekend, I understand, against Newcastle, Carabao Cup final. But the big one is Mohamed Salah, the Ballon d'Or. He's out of the Champions League. Most likely going to win the Carabao Cup. Premier League looks like a done deal. 2 trophies, most likely he's going to win. Hopefully, if he wins the AFCON, makes it 3. What are the chances of him winning the Ballon d'Or with these 3 trophies if he's able to clinch them, maybe in the next 40 seconds?
Yeah, so that was the big factor, of course. Crashing out the Champions League would have impacted the course to the Ballon d'Or massively, especially if you still have the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid in the competition, where players like Mbappe and Rafinha could still be in the race and win it as well. So it's a bit of a shame for Mo Salah, but of course he can always, get himself back on track by doing well with his country at the AFCON and try and get himself in the running for the Ballon d'Or.
Sika, really thank you for your brief time here on Prime Sports. Really appreciate it. And that's Sika joining us all the way from UK there. Well, that's all we have for you on Prime Sports tonight with me, Razak Musbah. Thank you very much for your company. We'll be back again on Monday with more sports. Enjoy Prime tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. with Prime Sports Extra.